Hey, you're nearing the end of your time at my farmer's market stall, and I really hope you're enjoying your time here so far with my infographic. And I have this and another section left to present to you. So, this section is the effects of grain farming and or the problems that cause something to go wrong in grain farming, or problems that are outside of grain farming that cause a problem in grain farming. That will be cleared up. But desertification and soil salinization are more environmental, and changing diets are more societal. I'd like to clarify that first. Moving on, I would like to first address desertification. According to Britannica, crops grown on drylands, including grains, which account for 85% of global food production, are annuals, growing from seed, maturing, and dying within a year. After harvest, when lands are left uncovered, the soil is vulnerable to erosion by wind and rain. Wind can cause dust storms at the topsoil, pushing the nutrients far away. Rain, if it happens, because this is a dryland, is usually strong enough to wash away the soils, depleting them of nutrients. So really, the farming period itself doesn't affect this, but the poor soil conservation habits during the dormant period does. Secondly, I'm going to go over soil salinization. So, grain yield, vegetative growth, and germination were measured in a study on soil salinity with semi-dwarf and 2-durum cultivars. Grain yields were mostly unaffected, with a decrease in both cultivars, 3% and 3.8% respectively. These show that they are salt tolerant. Salinity actually increased the protein content of both, but only the durum's quality improved. The vegetative growth was decreased more than grain yield by this. To an extent, though, irrigation techniques deeply affect soil salinity, as well as climate and climate change, soil type, and water usage. The last section of this is more societal. It's about changing diets. So many different guidelines offer somewhat different advice regarding protein, dairy, starches, and grains. For instance, compared to the Harvard Healthy Eating Plate, HHEP, the Canadian Food Guide, CFG, suggests 27% fewer servings of fruits and vegetables, 34% fewer servings of meat or protein, but 60% more servings of dairy products and 25% more of grains. So firstly, this was a very important section because it shows how grain affects diets. So yes, it really depends on, one, the individual who is consuming, because it could depend on their health, what they need. Number two, it could depend on the prior professional experience of the people conducting the study to have these journals official, and then because their professional experience could impact the methodology that they use to an extent. And number three, it could just be where you are located. So if grain can grow or not, of course, which is something that we're not really discussing right now because it was already specified in the beginning that you'd have to move to somewhere where grain farming is a better option. So also there's another place where grain farming does take a deep, profound effect. It's with cornstarch. So corn is one of the most widely consumed grains, if not the most. So, by humans, of course. So corn is used in the form of cornstarch in many, many, many products, even without the knowledge of consumers. So, yeah. So corn is consumed at humongous amounts as well. And in that way, grain has affected much of diet today. So yeah, that's about it. There is more to this, and if you do have any questions about this section that I didn't cover in the video, I read more of the article for my personal knowledge than I did for this video, so just ask me in person. But yeah, thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy the last 1 or 2 sections after this. Bye!